You ever feel like that? You want to make some huge change in your life, but the sheer size of the goal is just completely overwhelming? Well, what if the secret wasn't about massive action, but about tiny, almost invisible changes? Today, we're going to dive deep into the science of atomic habits and really understand how these small, consistent actions can lead to some truly remarkable results. So let's just start with a number that might just blow your mind: 37. If you get just 1% better at something every single day for a year, you don't just get a little better, you end up 37 times better. That's the awesome power of compounding, but applied directly to you, to your personal growth. It starts out as this small, almost unnoticeable improvement, but it just keeps accumulating into something incredible. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's easy to feel motivated for a day or two, right? But how do we build habits that actually last a lifetime? Well, the answer isn't just about willpower or having more motivation. It's about understanding the machine that's running the whole show, your brain. Okay, so if we want to change our habits, we first have to understand how they even work. Deep inside our brains, there's this subconscious four-step pattern that is just constantly running in the background, shaping pretty much every action we take without us even realizing it. And this is what we call the habit loop. This definition from psychological science is so key. A habit isn't just something you do a lot. It's a behavior that's become so automatic, it requires almost zero conscious thought. Now, this is great for freeing up your mental energy, but it's also exactly how bad habits end up just running on autopilot. So this is the loop itself. It all starts with a cue, a trigger. That cue then creates a craving, which is really the motivation. And that craving drives a response, the habit itself. And finally, the response delivers a reward, which basically tells your brain, hey, that was good, let's do it again. This exact cycle is the blueprint for building good habits and, maybe more importantly, for deconstructing the bad ones. Right, so if the habit loop is the blueprint, you can think of James Clear's 4 laws of behavior change as the user manual. These are 4 super simple, actionable rules we can use to basically hack that loop and start building the habits we actually want. The first law is all about the cue. To build a good habit, you've got to make the triggers for it as obvious as you possibly can. And on the flip side, if you want to break a bad habit, you need to make its cues totally invisible. You're pretty much controlling what your brain even sees in the first place. So how do you actually make it obvious? Well, a brilliant strategy is something called habit stacking. You just link a new habit to one you already do. So for example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Another one is to just design your environment. You want to run in the morning, put your running shoes right by your bed. It makes the decision almost effortless. Next up, the second law. This one targets the craving. Look, habits stick when we want to do them. So the key here is to make the good habits more attractive. And you guessed it, make the bad habits way less appealing. This is all about engineering your own motivation. And we can make our habits attractive using something called temptation bundling. You just pair an action you need to do with an action you want to do. Like, after I reply to my work emails, I will watch 1 episode of my favorite show. Or you could join a culture where your desired habit is just the norm. If you want to read more, join a book club. We are totally wired to imitate the habits of the people around us. All right, the third law hacks, the response. Humans, we are fundamentally programmed to follow the path of least resistance. It's just how we're built. So to build a good habit, you have to make it as easy as possible. And to break a bad one, you introduce friction. You make it difficult. So how do we make it easy? We reduce the friction. If you want to eat healthier, chop up all your veggies on Sunday so they're just ready to go. And this next one, it's a total game changer. The 2-minute rule. Scale any new habit down so it takes less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Do yoga becomes take out my yoga mat. The goal is just to master the art of showing up. And finally, we have the 4th law, which closes the loop by focusing on the reward. It's simple. What is rewarded is repeated. Our brains are totally wired for immediate gratification. So for a habit to stick, it needs to feel satisfying right away. And for a bad habit to fade away, it needs to be immediately unsatisfying. And this illustrates perfectly how to create that satisfaction. Just give yourself an immediate reward, even a small one. Use a habit tracker. That little check mark you make gives you a tiny hit of dopamine. Or to make a bad habit unsatisfying, get an accountability partner. Seriously, the pain of paying your friend $10 is often way more powerful than the long-term benefit of skipping junk food. And this isn't just some pop psychology fad. The fourth law, making it satisfying, is actually a modern take on one of the foundational principles of behavioral psychology, operant conditioning. The idea that our behavior is shaped by its consequences has been a cornerstone of the field for decades. As this academic analysis points out, the real genius of atomic habits is how it takes these established, kind of complex ideas from psychology and just boils them down into a simple, practical framework that literally anyone can apply to their daily life. It's like an operating manual for self-improvement. Okay, now let's zoom out a bit. We're going to go from the tactics to the philosophy, because this is the big mindset shift that really separates the people who succeed from those who don't. And it's all about focusing on systems, not just goals. I absolutely love this quote. It is so powerful. I mean, think about it. Winners and losers, they often have the exact same goals. The goal isn't what makes the difference. What makes the difference is the system, that system of tiny daily improvements that you actually commit to. Let's think about it this way. A goal is a temporary target. Once you achieve it, then what? What pushes you forward? A lot of times, you just revert back to your old ways. But a system, a real commitment to the process, that's about continuous refinement. It's about building a lifestyle that leads to success again and again and again. And all of this, it all leads to the ultimate purpose of building better habits. See, it's not just about what you achieve. It's about who you become. You are the architect of your own identity. The real goal isn't to run a marathon. It's to become a runner. It's not about writing a book. It's about becoming a writer. Every single time you perform a habit, you're casting a vote for that identity. You're giving yourself evidence that this is who you are now. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway. These laws and these systems, they aren't just about tweaking your behavior. They're powerful tools you can use to consciously and deliberately design the person you want to be. So what's the first vote you're going to cast for your new identity?